Everyone, whether elevated or wretched, automatically forgets about mundane life when he sees the lotus feet of Srila Haridasa Thakur. The Muslims had been angry enough to kill him, yet they were transformed and they worshipped his feet, accepting him as a holy man. After forgiving and blessing them, Haridas went to Pulia. With the holy name resounding from his lips, he reached an assembly of Brahmins near Pulia. The Brahmins were overjoyed by his arrival and joined him in a roaring kirtan. As he danced in their midst, he felt ecstatic joy sweeping through his body. Crying, shivering, laughing, swooning, horripilation, and roaring loudly, he fell to the ground, totally immersed in love of Krishna. The Brahmins could not contain their unbounded joy. After some time, Srila Haridas calmed himself and spoke to the Brahmins, who sat around him. My dear Brahmin friends, do not feel sad because of what happened to me. This punishment was certainly due me. I stood in the court and listened to the Muslims blaspheme my Lord. For this, the Lord has punished me suitably. I am actually very happy because my punishment should have been much more severe. The Lord has let me off very lightly. One goes to hell if he hears blasphemy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. My sinful ears were filled with such blasphemy, and the Lord has given me proper punishment, so that I may never commit this offense again. Srila Haridas passed his time relishing the nectar of the holy name, and giving his enlightening association to the Brahmins. Those Muslims who had tortured Das Thakur and their families were all eventually destroyed. Haridas left that village and moved into a cave on the banks of the river Ganga, where he maintained himself on the sweetness of the holy name and the memory of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Daily, he chanted a minimum of 300,000 names of Krishna. By the influence of the transcendental sound of the holy name and the holy presence of Srila Haridasa Thakur, that cave was transformed into a Vaikuntha planet of the spiritual sky. In Haridasa's cave lived a large and poisonous snake that emitted such strong vapors that not a soul could remain in the cave for more than a moment. People from the village came every day to visit Haridas, but they could not stay long enough to speak with him. Although the visitors were all driven away by the poisonous air, Haridas was completely oblivious to the presence of the snake. The Brahmins consulted one another about the foul air in the cave and discussed the matter with some Ayurvedic physicians in Pulia. After some research, they determined that a poisonous snake had indeed built its home within Haridas's cave. The physicians felt strongly that Haridas should vacate his cave, for living with such a snake was improper. They joined the Brahmins and approached Haridas to explain the situation. On account of the vapors from the poisonous snake living within your cave, no one can remain here, they explained. You should also vacate this place and find a more suitable cave to live in. Haridas replied, I have been living in this cave for a long time, and I have never been inconvenienced by the vapors you speak of. However, if none of you can remain within the cave, and it causes you such distress, then I shall leave here tomorrow. If it is true that a snake lives here, and if it does not leave by tomorrow, then I shall certainly go. I can assure you that one of us will leave this cave by tomorrow. Please, Do not worry about this problem any longer. I am concerned that all of you not waste time in futile, mundane talks. Every moment should be utilized in discussing topics of Krishna. In the course of this discussion, a miracle occurred. Evening had gradually descended around Haridasa and the Brahmins when the snake slithered out of its hole. Its huge, frightening body, crossed with effulgent red, yellow, and blue stripes, and crowned with a brilliant gem, slid quietly past the Brahmins and left that cave forever. Its appearance was both awesome and attractive, and as it slithered past, the Brahmins remembered Krishna as their only shelter. After the snake left, the burning sensation from the poisonous air also vanished, and all the Brahmins were satisfied. Their faith in the extraordinary spiritual potency of Haridasa Thakur swelled, for they understood that the snake had left because of Haridasa's assurance to the visitors. Simply the sight of Haridasa dissipates one's innate nescience and material entanglements. Out of his love for Haridasa, the Supreme Lord never minimizes or neglects Haridasa's words.